Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Lance Knaub. Welcome to another episode of Moving Mountains. I'm here today with my friend Dane Czaplicki. Dane, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so good to have you here. And I know we've known each other for, I guess, maybe about a year. And we're in a mastermind together. And more recently, we were at a cool event doing a workout with some Green Berets early in the morning out in the woods.
Pushing ourselves.
Climbing trees, doing burpees, doing bear walks with our group tied together. That was like the ultimate team building.
Legs taped.
Taped. That was tough. Yeah, but pretty good challenge and fun. I know we're going to tap into your pretty cool stuff you've done as an endurance athlete and all the things. So why don't we'll start off telling everybody a little bit about your story and your journey. I know you were in veterinary school and how you ended up as the CEO of your new firm.
Yeah, so I guess a bit non-traditional way to get into wealth management, but even before veterinary school, I did always have a strong interest in finance. It actually goes way back to show Family Ties, Alex P. Keaton, I don't know if you remember that, but I had interest in investing all through high school, but there were no investing classes back then.
Right.
And there was biology, and I liked animals, so I was on the veterinary route, and so I spent a lot of time, through college getting into veterinary school, but I ended up down at University of Pennsylvania and decided I didn't want to be a vet.
Right.
But I was working in kind of the epicenter of financial education with Wharton there, and it was 1999, and I had the bug of trading and investing, and as they say, the rest is history.
Right.
Then I had to dive in really to get into finance investing. I had to reteach myself. But I had a good discipline from being a science major.
Sure.
So I
can relate to that. I started as pharmacy and made my pivot to physical therapy.
Organic chemistry, physics, all those things teach you how to study if you want to do well.
Oh yeah.
And so I just applied those principles to finance and investing, and there's something called the Charter Financial Analyst. It's a CFA charter.
CFA, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like a master's level in finance. And so I had to throw myself back into community college for macro 1 and micro and accounting 1 and 2 and econ 1 and 2 just for a baseline.
Right.
But then I just kept reading and finally got to break into the industry. And that was tough. It was 2000, 2001. The markets were crashing. Nobody was hiring a vet school dropout. Right. But I eventually got there and then fell in love with wealth management. And because it's really a people business, a human business.
Sure.
And so it's somewhere in between finance and investing and compounding, which I've always loved.
Okay.
But then tying it in helping people kind of achieve their dreams because you can focus in on what you love, which is the finance and investing.
Right.
And it just became a match made in heaven, and spent my career working on it. Ultimately, we built a wealth management firm that we sold.
Okay, congrats.
I guess so.
Bittersweet, I know.
Yeah, realized the mistake within about 90 days, and it not a shot at the firm that bought us or really anything. It's just the way we like to do things and what I feel is a right approach. It's really should be done in an independent, employee-owned type of structure.
Understood.
And we had sold to a bank. And so that's not that.
Right.
And ultimately we left and COVID hit, and I had some time to think about what I really wanted to do. So I ultimately said, let's build the wealth management firm we know we can build and build it for the families we want to work with. And that's how I got here today.
And that's Members Wealth.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, incredible story. Love how you found your true calling and put all these things together. And yeah, I can relate to certainly having, an exit and kind of restarting. I know you have a unique position that, a lot of, wealth management is focused on protection, and you guys have a philosophy about advancing when that makes sense. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say if the firm had some values that we line up for our clients, it's preserve, grow, endure, evolve. And so preservation is, of course, important. Our client base is typically highly driven, successful, entrepreneurs, business owners, high-end executives, I say professionals with practices, veterinarians, doctors, et cetera.
Right.
Kind of business owners themselves, but they all are successful, right? That's why they come to us, and we work with them. So first off, it's preserving what they've already built, right? So there is some preservation. It's understanding not only preserving money, but their values, what it is that money means to them and what they're trying to accomplish.
Right.
But most of them are hiring us at that point, not because they are ready to decline or retire, right? They're more transitioning and increasing what they're doing and focusing on kind of their core capability, their unique ability, if you will, right? And they want to level up. And so they've spent a life of outsourcing things, and now they're getting to the point that they want to outsource financial management, comprehensive wealth management, insurance, tax, etc. But they're not ready to grow or not grow. So we really put an emphasis on helping them grow their wealth so it can endure over time. And that's where our estate attorneys come in and help them with legacy planning and planning not only for this generation but for next. And really what's important about the whole thing is that last word, and it's evolution or evolve, right? Because things change. So we write a plan, we target it, gives us something. We all know when we all work together, we set visions, and it's very similar. So where do you want to be in 5 to 25 years? And then we work towards it. But guess what? Life changes. And so we're there, and we meet quarterly with the clients, and we build out accountability metrics, and how are we going to get this stuff done for our clients? But it's preserve, grow, endure, evolve, and that really works with the types of clients that we work with.
Yeah, it sounds like you're looking at the data and making pivots and adjustments, making that plan come to life, which, that's like, my love language as well, so I can totally appreciate that. And when you mentioned all the different kind of arms, really, do you consider yourself, a family office at this point?
Yeah, so I love the term. Thanks for asking. I would say we're a multifamily office.
Okay.
Right? So we don't work for a single family.
Okay.
And for those that aren't familiar, the single family office started way back with like the Carnegies, Rockefellers, and it was this idea that they were great at making money, but they were also great at losing it out the back door.
Okay.
And to fraud, to tax, to bad investments. And they basically came to the conclusion, we need people on staff to manage all of this, that we pay, that are beholden to us, that don't have conflicts of interest, that aren't just salesmen trying to get a commission or fraudsters. And that was the original kind of concept of the family office. And some of them still exist, right?
Okay.
You can still hear about the Rockefeller money. And then you also hear, I won't name names, but there's a lot of families from back then that have lost all their money because they didn't start the family office.
Okay.
Family office today, short of $2 or $3 million of revenue to hire the staff. And then even then, it's tough to build a really complete staff. So somewhere along the way, a handful of families got together and said, hey, we all know each other. We're all worth 100, 200, 300 million, but we're not billionaires.
Right.
And so maybe if we pool resources, we can do a multi-family office.
Okay.
And what I found, that's how I started my career. I was working, I would say, in a multi-family office focused on folks with 250 million and higher. And then what I learned along the way is that concept of the family office services, putting the client first, being comprehensive, looking at kind of everything, tax, legal, investments, service, insurance, risk, and bringing that all together in one cohesive plan. Those same types of clients I mentioned before, the doctors, the lawyers, the business owners, the executives, they all need that too. Mm-hmm. But their net worth and where our sweet spot is typically more like the $1 to $25 million net worth. Some a little larger, some a little smaller. Mm-hmm. But it's really in that area where they don't know that term, multifamily office. But once they're introduced to that concept, they really, really like it, and it works really well.
Yeah, sounds so thorough. Yeah, I only became familiar with the term a few years ago. So no, I love that and still wrapping my head around it all. And yeah, you guys are really doing some innovative things. So congrats on all the success, because how long has the new business been open now?
We took our first client about 18 months ago.
Okay.
We opened the doors a little bit before that to get it set up. It has been a great journey.
Yeah.
I was meant to be in this seat, I think, and you learn a lot, right? You come in, I think one of my strengths is my ability to get started, even knowing that I'm being naive, right? Like you just have to get started.
Right.
Get that car out of the garage, so to speak.
For sure.
And that's what entrepreneurs do, I think.
Absolutely.
And so that was an itch I needed to scratch, and so I have. But it's interesting to think how much we've accomplished in 18 months to 2 years, and you can't help but get excited to know that we've laid a really strong foundation, and now the future looks, really bright. So.
Totally. And we're going to talk about the future and all these exciting things. One thing we always like to know about, people doing wildly successful things and having a lot of success is how they get through the low points, the rock bottom moments, the challenging times, including from a mindset standpoint. How do you approach that?
Yeah, it's I first kind of figured this all out. I was a runner, and it turned it into trail running to give my knees a break.
Okay.
And then really learned to get efficient, because I couldn't go on 3 or 4 day hiking trips because we had young kids, but I could get 3 or 4 days worth of hiking done in 5 to 6 hours if I hit the trails running.
Okay.
And when I did some races, was never overly competitive, but really enjoyed trail running at distance. And what I found was, if you're out for 30, 40, or 50 miles, or 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours, there's highs and lows. Right. Not only like physically, because you're up and down mountains, so to speak, but you could be at the top or the bottom and feel really, really horrible. You could also feel really, really great. And what I learned was they both are fleeting, right? And so when you're feeling great running, what most people do, or the untrained person does, is you start to lean into it. You go harder and harder because you're feeling better and better,
right?
And then you crash, right? So you have to learn to say, this is feeling great now, but it's going to pass. But then I applied it to the bottom.
Okay.
And so when you're in your darkest, lowest moments, you kind of just have to keep going.
Okay.
And it helps when there's people around you. So what I found with trail running and the races, not 20,000 people in the, we just talked about the New York City Marathon, right? Nothing of that size. You're talking 200 or 300 people, and it's more of a community.
Okay.
Very supportive. Everybody wants everybody to finish. One of the most miraculous things to me was the first one I did. It was a 50 mile, or 12 hours. It was ridiculous.
Okay.
But the winners did it in 6, 7, or 8 hours.
Oh, wow.
And they were there clapping when I finished.
Oh, okay.
And for the last guy that finished.
Wow.
And that meant a lot. And so that support, that community, that relationships. So then you apply that to life, and how do you get through those darkest moments? You lean on those people that are your strongest relationships, and they really help you kind of get through it all.
Right.
And so to me, relationships are one of those things that you just have to cultivate, work on, be there for them be there for you.
Right.
It's a community. And then just keep going. It'll pass. You have to work on it. But learned it all really out on the trail. So.
So many lessons in exercise, as a physical therapist and, an athlete growing up. Yeah, sports are so good for all of us.
Yeah.
So Dane, so much good stuff, so much value already. We're going to take a quick break, thank our sponsors, and we're going to come back. Definitely want to hear about, with the new business, CEO, CIO, all the hats you're wearing, how you stay healthy and avoid burnout. So everybody, stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Big Flamingo Insurance, what do you want?
Yeah, can we get the auto insurance policy?
Anything else?
Can we add an extra driver?
Number form combo, your premium comes with pickup spot too.
Okay.
When it comes to insurance, you don't have to sacrifice service to save.
Wait, this isn't even the right policy.
Upgrade to NJM and get the 5-star customer service you deserve with discounts you'll love.
Excuse me, Mr. Rollerbird?
No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM. Get a quote today.
You can be confident choosing Farmers Insurance. There's no need to knock on wood.
Perfect.
This is an unnatural amount of natural light.
Thank you.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Hey, Jake from State Farm. I want that personal price plan. So how's this for personal? I draw mustaches on players' faces when they're asleep.
Coach Reed, you don't need to get that personal to get the State Farm personal price plan. It helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Oh.
Coach, it happened again.
I'm gonna get to the bottom of this.
Call or click to get a quote today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
She found it. The feeling of finding the psoriasis treatment she's been looking for. So Tic2 is the first of its kind once daily pill for moderate to severe plaque psoriasis for the chance at clear or almost clear skin. It's like the feeling of finding that outfit psoriasis tried to hide from you, or finding your swimsuit is ready for prime time.
Dad,
once daily Sotyktu is proven to get more people clearer skin than the leading pill. Don't take if you're allergic to Sotyktu. Serious reactions can occur. Sotyktu can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB. Serious infections, cancers including lymphoma, muscle problems, and changes in certain labs have occurred. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, liver or kidney problems, high triglycerides, or had a vaccine or plan to. Sotyktu is a TYK2 inhibitor. TYK2 is part of the JAK family. It's not known if Sotyktu has the same risks as JAK inhibitors. Find what plaque psoriasis has been hiding. Ask your dermatologist about Sotyktu for clearer skin. So clearly you. Sotyktu.
Hi, my name is Dave, and I am Metro.
Hi, I'm Andrea. I am Metro.
Hi, my name is Josh, and I am Metro.
Hi, I'm George. I am Metro.
Hi, my name is Joe, and I am Metro.
Hi, I'm Mark.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Moving Mountains. I'm here today with Dane Czaplicki. Now we're getting into another area that I really love to talk about, how really successful and hard driving entrepreneurs can stay healthy while they're scaling, right? You're 18 months into this new venture. How are you approaching it, especially lifestyle, and specifically I always really like to know how much sleep people are getting.
Sure. I started having to focus on my health, I guess, right around the time I got married. So it's been a long journey for me. I've done a lot of different sports early on, but I really gravitated to endurance and cardio. So running, biking, swimming, triathlons. As I got busy with children, I kind of stripped it all back to running for many, many years. And running was a release. I can get pretty agitated or high anxiety and I basically hadn't run for 3 days. So
right.
I knew it was a release. And so I leaned into it. I did it quite a bit. And of late, though, as we get older, I try to balance that with some weight training and some strength. But any sort of exercise on a daily basis, so weight training, rucking, running, hiking, getting that in just relieves quite a bit of stress. And if I'm really stressed, like not just anxiety creeping up from not working out, but really stressed about something, a good hard run can take it all away. It's not just all physical outlets. I mean, there's a lot of mental, emotional.
Yes, talk to us.
I'm a big believer of routine, but then also breaking routine and wandering a bit.
Okay.
And so routine, it's get up, walk the dog, coffee, journal, read, reflect, lift. And you take away the am I doing it, am I not doing it, you just make it a habit.
Right.
And then it doesn't take up mental capacity or willpower to do it. It's just what I do in the morning. And you can relieve a lot of stress by putting things down on paper.
For sure.
And then another GoBundance gentleman, somebody in my GoPod, got me thinking, you should, what did he say? The best book you'll read all week is your journal entries.
Oh yeah, I think you were the one telling me about reading this at the end of the week. Yeah, talk to us.
So I go back and I read.
I haven't implemented this yet. I'm glad for the reminder.
And I definitely do it. And so my goal over the next 5 years is not only to have 1,500 or so journal entries, but to have 250 journal summaries. And so on Sundays, I call it Summary Sunday, I sit down and either morning or night, and I read through the journal entries from the week, and I take notes and summarize it. And that reflection on the week is usually a really strong one. Plus you have some takeaways that then you can bring in and implement into your life. And I guess that kind of ties into your sleep question.
Yeah.
I always assumed I just got quality sleep because I never really had a struggle sleeping. So
right.
I was blessed with that, whereas I know other people struggle. So I've never measured kind of the sleep patterns, but I know I feel a lot better when I implemented a year or two ago. It's no eating 2 hours before bed.
Okay.
I try to put the phone away at least an hour before bed. No nonfiction before bed. It's got to be fiction, kind of mindless. Drink a lot of water before bed.
Okay.
And then that routine. I'd like to say I go to bed at like 9:30 sharp or 10 sharp.
Okay.
My family would call me a liar, and they say I fall asleep, on the couch before that. So I usually take that power nap, but it's don't stay up late. and get up early. So it's a pattern, it's scheduled, and focusing on it, right? You and I both know that if you want something to improve, you focus on making it better.
That's true.
And that's what I do with sleep. That's what I do with my mental and physical health.
How about your nutrition? That's probably the only area you didn't mention.
Yeah, nutrition. My wife told me years ago she really hated the word diet. It was supposed to be a lifestyle.
Right.
And so she hated that concept.
I can relate to that.
Yeah, and so along the way, I kind of alternate between elimination and addition diet. Or I shouldn't use that word, lifestyle.
Okay.
And so, for example, I don't think people need to sacrifice everything they love when it comes to eating, right? Because eating is a nice pleasure too.
Yes.
And so I love breakfast. And so 15 years ago or so, I realized I'm going to eat breakfast every day the rest of my life, and I want to enjoy it. Like that to me is a great thing to do. But do I need to have cheese on everything, right? Like that's the unhealthiest part of what I was eating. So I eliminated cheese, right? And then somewhere along I said, well, why don't I make sure I have fruit, right? So I added something, but I can still have breakfast. And then as I got older, I said, well, are breakfast meats really doing anything for me at breakfast? That was tough. That was tough to give up breakfast meats, but I gave them up, right?
Okay.
And then the following year you'll add something. So it's this idea of just constantly honing it to make it better without huge sacrifices. And then sometimes you're just fortunate. I think you'll find, or people will find, that if there's something you're eating that is unhealthy, take fried food, for example. I used to love it as a young man.
Of course.
I started to eliminate it. And now if occasionally I try it, it actually makes me sick. It probably was always making me sick, but I was accustomed to it. But now that my body's not, so then you just don't want it. So, I think diet's a big part of kind of success in both your physical and mental health, your sleep patterns, business, and it becomes a lifestyle.
Yes. Well, great job getting started with weight training. I know that is newer emphasis for you. And yeah, I love, the journaling and especially the recap at the end of the week. I'm going to try to implement that. I'm going to implement that myself. So thanks for sharing and great work with that. So we touched on this a little bit. It's always nice to know you've, accomplished a lot of things already, but it's nice to know what the vision is. I'm a big vision guy, and what the future looks like. So yeah, what does it look like for you both personally and with the, the organization?
Yeah, well, with the organization, I think I alluded to early, that independence, that employee-owned, being a boutique, and what that means.
Employee-owned, will you go as far as like ESOP, or what does that mean?
Yeah, we're doing something more. It's called like a profits interest, which is a share in the upside and the cash flow from a certain point going forward, not going back.
Wow, that's exciting.
It's a tax-efficient strategy to deploy. And it's more, even more so than the structure, it's the culture of ownership and treating everyone like partners.
Right.
And so if I have a 5-year vision, of course it's grow revenue, like everybody wants to grow revenue. But I've realized that for us to accomplish our goals, I can't just evolve and grow as a leader. I need to cultivate leaders on the staff. And it's defining what leadership is, why everybody's a leader, how we're different as leaders, how we're the same, what our leadership philosophy is, what the core values are, but what the custom values are around it. And that's a big thing for an organization. And what I've realized that works as a leader myself, and a very driven, fairly intense person, I'm told, I can be overwhelming or maybe unbearing at times. And so lead by example is what I want to do, but I also have to define what lead by example is for the organization. And so lead by example doesn't just mean everybody should work really, really, really hard like I do. Everybody does work hard. We just all do it differently. I work with really, really great people, partners, employees, all very special in their own rights, and they have their own gifts. So it's being open-minded to recognize that they each have their own visions, and that Members Wealth, and that's part of their vision, but then they have all their unique characteristics towards their own personal visions. And then their vision of what Members Wealth is to them can be slightly different than everybody else's. And respecting that, all coming together for the overall good of the firm and ultimately the clients. But that's really where I want to focus the next 5 years, is building Members Wealth into an organization where the clients come first, service excellence, better every day, honesty and integrity, but employees are second, right? And business third. So it's really clients, employees, business. But I'm open with the clients and the employees. It's a business. Like, we run it for profitability, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so just talking about it, I find, and I love these types of habits. So I record a lot of things, mainly not to put it out there, but to hold me accountable.
Okay.
And so let's have a marketing meeting every Monday. Anybody that wants to come can come. You don't have to come.
Oh, I like that. And you and I had talked about marketing. You were trying to figure out how to weave that into the organization.
Yeah, marketing was a new concept for me.
Sure.
So I had to focus a lot on learning that in the last 12 to 15 months.
Mm-hmm.
But I found out this a long time ago. Rather than work on something for months on end and then drop a big 1-inch plan or idea on everybody and be like, what do you think? Let's do it. And everybody's like, yeah, no, they can't absorb it. They don't know. And so dripping, a good way to teach is, as I evolve and figure out the leadership, for example, why not have a leadership meeting on a weekly basis and record it? And if some people come or some people don't, it gives me something to go back and
you're keeping that as a library?
And we keep it as a library.
Oh, wow.
And so I look forward to laughing at it, 5, 10, 15 years and say, that's where we started. But it'll also be that sense of, that's where we started and this is how far we've come. And so it holds you accountable. It's something to keep for the history books, and it drips and teaches people in increments over time rather than trying to teach them all at once. So.
Great job making your team part of the process, and even creating this partnership model, which I want to learn more about, because I'm definitely a student of partnerships and an advocate for partnerships. And allowing people to have their own personal visions, and sounds like you're facilitating that. So lots of good stuff.
Yeah.
Definitely want to hear you kind of give us your summarized thoughts on how people who want to achieve the highest levels of success, if you could boil that down into a couple points, and then if you let everybody know how they can, find you and the organization and follow you guys, that'd be terrific.
Sure. You mentioned it before, we're vision guys. I think to be successful, you need to have a vision. It has to be big. It has to make you uncomfortable.
Right.
And then you have to break it down into bite-sized pieces and then get at it, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot more to it, but if you said I had to summarize it, that's how I would summarize it.
Okay.
In terms of getting a hold of me, phone number 267-367-5453, memberswealthllc.com, or me personally of danecfa.com. Look forward to hearing from you.
Dane, so much good stuff. We got a lot of additional questions. We'll keep the convo going for sure.
Absolutely.
So much value. Thanks for sharing.
Yep, thanks.
And I know you're off to a trip, a little bit of personal, but also, giving back to the community a little bit in Asheville. So
we had scheduled a trip to Asheville with the GoPod, and basically a hurricane hit. So we said, well, let's mix in some helping, and we joined up with some other GoBundance members that are there, and we're going to help out this weekend. So.
That's awesome. Well, good work. I know the Uber's coming right now, so thank you. Please take some time, check out Dane and the organization, and ask him any questions on any and all of that. And tune in next week for our next episode of Moving Mountains.